Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Thursday, March 6, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I'll start with the weekly chart going back some 5 years. Just a reminder that it was about 3 weeks ago that we closed below not only the 340.838 Fibonacci from the January 23 low against that more recent December high, but also back below the 345.53 two-year channel top. This after having closed above it several months earlier, at that point indicating the 507.99 five-year channel top, which we rallied up toward but did not actually test before collapsing back. And it was the settlement 3 weeks ago below 340.80 that set up the 253.88 two-year channel bottom as a 1 to 2 month or possibly much sooner objective. And that much sooner has turned out really to be about 2 weeks. I know we haven't tested it this week, but you can see on this chart that we've fallen into the neighborhood, so to speak. 253.88 in reach still, but from here I wouldn't be surprised to see a rally. I'm going to get to that in a moment. I don't want to jump the gun here. 253.88 is really the beginning of a range down to 249.54 that can contain selling not only through March, but really through the second quarter. From here, we can round back up into the 340s. We could consolidate into this wedge for a month or possibly longer before then presumably continuing on upward into later year. 253.88 is a two-year channel structure that should be respected for its ability to contain not only quarterly but possibly annual selling pressures. And I will just mention that if we close tomorrow below 249.54, which is a 5/8 downside Fibonacci from that January 23 low against the December high, I like that it's very close to 253.88, so it is a range. And if we close tomorrow, Friday, below 249.54, we enter another significant sell signal. And I would expect the sell-off that's occurred over the last 3 to 5 weeks to be of a very similar type, just a continued collapse like a waterfall, if you will, into the 150s, 153.14 to 159.24. I'm going to call it a 3 to 5 week target if we were to close tomorrow, Friday, the week itself, below 249.54. Until then, if there's an area to buy Tesla as we move into later year, this is it. Let's take a look at the daily chart. We still have 270.23, but we've reduced it to an intraday level only just because of the violations that have occurred over the last couple of days, both Tuesday and Wednesday. We closed below it on Tuesday, closed above it on Wednesday. Kind of a chop. Kind of every time that happens, it diminishes the reliability of that structure. But it is still there. It's still a very tradable level for day traders, and above which 286.30 is in reach today. So we could trade, 270.23 support, assuming we open above it. That is a buyable support level. 286.30 resistance. You can sell that level, especially if you're long from about 270.23. 286.30 can contain intraday buying pressures. And if we were to push through 286.30, 295.60 becomes a realistic intraday target. And 295.60 is that descending trend line off the lows that, after having settled below it about a week and a half ago, has roughly contained upward activity. That was earlier in the week, I believe, on Monday. 295.60 can contain daily highs. Can you sell 295.60? Then anticipation of 3 to 5 days bearish rotation down to 253.88? Yes, you can. But we've come relatively close to testing that 253.80 channel bottom. And I think the market is primed for recovery, although we don't really see any clear-cut signal for that. That would come with a settlement today above 295.60. And I'm not expecting that. That would be quite a rally from here, but we could over the next day or two. If we close today above 286.30, expect 295.60 tomorrow if we don't test it today. Able to contain daily buying pressures, and if settled above 295.60, then within probably a full week of activity, or let's just call it inside of 2 weeks, the low to mid 340s expected again. As I mentioned earlier, following a testing of long-term support at 253.88, we can anticipate 2 to 3 weeks recovery into the low to mid 350s. Now, we have yet to actually test 253.88 to the very tick, and so now we're looking for, well, what is the next signal on strength that would anticipate as much? And once again, that's a settlement above 295.60 within 1 to 2 weeks. 340.80 to 345.53 is likely, which is still a real a legitimate resistance area on the daily chart. Also combined with the low to mid 340s is this newly formed descending channel top at 356.05, which will early next week, middle of next week, converge anyway with the low to mid 340s. It really is this descending channel top that I think is our prime ceiling of resistance as we move into April. From here we could fall back again, back to the structure that is presently at 253.88, and that could be like a 2 to 3 to 5 month move. If we were to expect meaningful gains, a bullish continuation of a significant degree as we move into the later second quarter, that would be clearly anticipated with a settlement in the coming weeks above 356.05. But I think for right now, the ideal scenario is bottom picking 253.88 and then holding out for this descending channel top as an objective where profits can be taken, and you can establish a short position here at 356.05, anticipating the possibility of bearish rotation back into the 250s within 2 to 3 weeks or so. Closing above 356.05 is your green light to own Tesla as we move through the second quarter, the following 2 to 3 months, then likely to reach that 507.99 5-year channel top. Once again, downside, we've got 253.88 and 249.54 to act as a range of support. If, for whatever reason, we break that today, 238.88 is likely. And if we close below 249.54 tomorrow, Friday, we enter another significant sell signal that should maintain the same sort of pace that we've been on for the last month or so, wherein the low to upper 150s become our next realistic 3 to 5 week objective. This 153.14 to 159.24 area well suited to absorb selling through the rest of the year. Is there anything else to say beyond what I already have? I will say that on Tuesday we put out a stock pick, wickedstocks.com, on Taiwan Semiconductor. There'll be another one coming out Thursday, that is today. You can check it all out by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial, where you will see not only our 2 stock picks this week and the 2 stock picks last week, and even at least 1 stock pick next week, because you get 5-day free trial up front. You'll also see daily SPY and daily triple Q analysis, weekly Apple stock, S&P 500, NASDAQ 100. So check out wickedstocks.com. I will be back tomorrow with Friday's Tesla. You have a great day.